Anyway, I like numbers, and you might be interested to learn that there are 358 days until the last possible date for a general election. Unless Angus's motion wins, of course. So can Gordon be, in true Jensen Button style, driven back from the grid and lead a resurgent Labour Party to victory next spring? Stop giggling, Anne Widdecombe. Anita's been reading the runes.
Yeah, well, it's been a real epic, hasn't it, so far, Andrew? And in that vein, the mighty warrior Gordonocles is going to have to perform valiantly to win favour with the gods over the next year. He's going to have to face a mighty roar from the left of the Labour Party over plans to privatise the post office. Now, Gordonocles was also facing something of an epic struggle with the public finances. Today, it was suggested the NHS is going to face its most severe shortfall in its history, and that's going to happen in 2011. Our mighty warrior is going to have to travel east to the very margins of his empire and hope to vanquish his opponents at a by-election in Norwich this summer. The odyssey will continue as he moves south to Brighton for a gathering of the Labour hordes in conference at the end of September, where he's going to have to quash any vestige of rebellion over his leadership. But will the pressure take its toll on our hero? Well, in the new year, Greece looks for signs of recovery. Will Gordon see them too? The final battle will come in the spring when the mighty red and blue armies assemble for a fight to the death, with the plebeians deciding his final fate at the general election. Andrew, I do hope you've got some classical scholars with you to sort all this out.
I don't think they had a clue what you were talking about, actually, Anita.
Sometimes I don't either.
But I hope they did know that we spare no expense on our graphics.
Only the best.
Only the best. He survived another attempt, but we'll move on to another attempt to unseat him, probably after you've lost these two by-elections.
I'd never thought he wouldn't survive. I didn't see an alternative candidate coming forward. I think the Parliamentary Labour Party was always united, was going to unite around him on Monday night. I think we're in a situation whereby whatever he does or says is criticised, even where there is merit to what he's doing. He's been blamed for things that are not his fault.
That was exactly the same with the final years of the Major government.
Well, I think there's a parallel with 91.
No,
I'm thinking
of 95, 96.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking of 91. I remember all of the commentating classes. Everybody said, oh, Major's finished, he's off, and he got a thumping great vote at the 92 election.
That's because you put up Neil Kinnock. We are putting up David Cameron.
Well, I think there's a parallel there.
It's a rather different matter.
Well,
and the fact is, of course you supported Gordon, because turkeys don't vote for Christmas.
No, that's
and if
not
you got rid of Gordon, you'd have had an earlier election. Yeah, of course.
Have you got the best of all possible worlds now? You've got an unpopular lame duck Prime Minister in place and a zombie government.
Yes, but it's not good for the country to drag on like that for another 10 months.
Yes,
we have, politically, yes.
You just you say that, you don't have any evidence to back that up in terms of the way the economy's going, in terms of the way public services are delivered.
Which way is the economy
going?
Which way is it
going?
The
economy is turning round. And my point, and you
Really?
can say that it's not, but the fact is that my business people in my constituency are more confident, the house prices are
Our pensions going?
picking up. The situation... Well, the situation with the economy is turning round.
Green shoots?
And had we listened to your man, if he'd have been in charge, then the money would have run out.
If you'd listened to our man, you wouldn't have robbed the pension schemes, and you would have actually had a very strong pension system.
That was a different leader of your party.
He was Chancellor. Your man was Chancellor, and he personally did.
I think the election started already.
Did it. Well, I wish it had.
David Cameron wasn't even a member of Parliament then. He was a failed advisor at the Treasury.
Can I ask you to look forward to the future? How bad, even if you're re-elected, how bad is the squeeze going to be on public spending?
Well, the public spending situation, I just pick up on this serious point that Annie's making. We had a strategy, of course, of increasing public debt to make sure public service investment kept our economy going. And that was the right strategy. That's eventually what everybody else did around the world. I know that's your policy, but
going forward, how bad will the squeeze be on public spending?
The level of debt that we have as a country is still less than other major economies. And that, to be fair, is because
depends on the way you count it, but I don't want to...
Well, you can have that
because you take a lot of things off budget that other governments don't. Can I just ask...
Scorn is not a political ornament.
Can I just ask you again? No. I want Anne Widdecombe, I want to try and get an answer to my question. I'll ask it for a third time. How bad is the squeeze going to be on public spending on 2010-11, 2011-12 12.
The comprehensive spending review for that period is not yet determined. One doesn't know yet what the tax take will be. The fact of the matter is, in politics, however, that had we not done what we'd done, then it would have been much worse. And that's a point that you have to answer. It's
yes,
no good,
I'd like
no
to
good
answer
just pouring
All right,
straw
I'm
on
going
it.
to
You
come
have
over
have
to
an
you.
answer.
If you keep quiet, I will answer it. If you got it so right, when the global crisis came, why did the dollar and the euro do so much better than the pound? It was because we were so heavily in debt. The economy was in a mess, and we were least best placed to face up to what happened.
If you represent a manufacturing area like I do, it's a blinking good job the pound went down. Because that is the export markets that will get us out of this, and is already getting out of it.
So your solution to all of this is for the pound to go down. I hope people are listening.
Well,
it started
if you're
to go back,
if you're a
up again,
manufacturer,
actually.
that is a good thing, Anne.
Let me ask you this. The fact is that whoever wins the election, Phil Willis won't admit it, but the figures are clear. Whoever wins the election is going to face an incredible squeeze. Now, your party has said it will ring-fence spending on health, and it will ring-fence spending on international development. Now, when you do that, that means that the cuts everywhere else are going to be enormous.
Andrew, you and I have heard this argument